Hey, Ag Teacher Thoughts here. It is time for basket planting. So I had some students working this week get some of the baskets done. They didn't quite get them all done, so I'm here again on a Saturday, going to be polishing off a little bit of this. Our plants are growing pretty quickly now, so we do need to get them in a basket. So I'm going to show you the process of how I put our baskets together, all the way from the soil on up to the finished product in the hanger. So the first thing I want to talk about is our potting media that we use. This is Sunshine Mix number 4 with mycorrhizae. If you are in an area that you can get this is absolutely the best soil that you can get for a hanging basket. Okay, so this has a little bit of bark, some peat moss, and some perlite in there. There's also some fungal mycorrhizae in there. I don't remember how many, but there's several of them, and they interact with the roots of your bedding plants to help that plant better absorb nutrients. So let me go ahead and show you where we're going from here. We're going to be using our 12-inch round pots. These are a waxed pulp. They're sold by McConkey Company, which is out of Oregon. And these are actually made by a company called Western Pulp. This is a paper fiber here, and it is impregnated with paraffin. And then there are some small brass eyelets. The reason we do this is the pulp pot gives your plants a little bit of insulation from heat spikes throughout the day. It also allows air to go through the basket to get into the roots, unlike a plastic container. So if you want plants that grow really, really well, choose a waxed pulp. The other reason we use these is these are, other than the brass, 100% biodegradable. These brass eyelets, you can pop them out if you want. But they're pretty much negligible in size. You can put this basket at the end of the season in your compost bin. And within 6 months to a year, depending on how your compost bin is, this will all be gone. Those of you that live in an area where you heat with wood, this is wax paper. Also works great as a fire starter. So let me show you where we're going. We're going to put some of our soil in here, and we're coming up to the second ring here on our baskets. We're going to come up till we're almost 3/4 to an inch away from there. And this is how much soil we want in there before we start putting in our 4-inch pots. Now, I talked in some previous videos about how I put my baskets together. This is a upright mounding calibrachoa. This is there to cover that bald spot that ends up being in the baskets late season. They have started to bloom already. You can see that that is the blossom on here. So these are available from Ball Seed. This is Chameleon Indian Summer Improved, and it is a calibrachoa. These are a patented plant, so no, we cannot take cuttings off of these. And this plant, again, to cover that bald spot, goes right in the center. We might give it just a little bit of soil to bring it up. Right there, and that's about where we want that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to put 2 verbena on either side. These are Endurascape Red and Endurascape Purple, and those are both available from Ball Seed. On here, we're putting our plants in our basket in kind of like a plus sign. So we've got one on one side, and on the opposite, we're going to put the other verbena. And what I'm doing is I'm just kind of holding the pot, putting in there, and gently seeding that down. So you have a line of plants in the center. To complement that, we do have a Surfina Giant Blue, also available from Ball Seed. And with these, when we're transplanting some of these bigger ones, I should probably show you how to do that. You do a little Vulcan sign there on either side of the stem of the plant, flip it over, squeeze once, squeeze twice, and that will free your root ball. Don't damage the root ball. Don't crush it up. Don't damage it. There's no reason to do these. These will never get root bound. That's not a thing in bedding plants and hanging baskets. So I'm going to take that, hold my other plants back, turn it in and place it, rotate my basket 90 degrees, and do the same thing with our Endurascape Pink Veined. Okay, again, these are all patented plants. So there is no propagation on here, but we will be doing some more pinching and take off some of the long runners. I like to put those to the outside. Put that in there. Again, I'm putting my hand there, lifting back a little bit, adjusting the root ball. So we have a plus sign with our baskets. We do want to make sure that the same plants are opposite each other as far as growth habit. If you put both petunias on one side, you're going to have a large, massive, lopsided basket, which is not great for visual eye appeal. So you make sure that you balance them on both sides. So our mounding in the center, our semi-trailing right here on the sides, and then our petunias opposite that. Now I'm going to go through and fill in all the corners, and it really takes just very little soil to fill in those gaps that are left out. So just about a handful. We're going to make sure when we put those in there that we are below the level of the eyelets. So there's the eyelets there. You don't want to cover those up. They kind of tell you how far the soil needs to come up. So about a handful in there, maybe a little bit more, and you kind of shake it to level it out. Okay, again, moving the plant material back. A couple of handfuls, level it out, rotate it to the next area. This one's going to take a few more handfuls. Okay, we don't want to pack the soil in there. It will go in on its own as it's watered in. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to use a wire hanger. These are again available from McConkey. You'll see there's a little bend there. That is where your fingers go. That is your pre-measured spot. Let's try to see if I can get that in there. Bend those at a little bit more than 90, and then you'll want to spread them out. We are using the wire hanger rather than the plastics. I know the plastics push in and they're really super quick, but if you live in an area that gets a little bit warmer, those plastic hangers can stretch, or if it's windy, they can flex. The other thing is they're plastic. They're not really recyclable. This is steel, and so these are completely recyclable. That can go in your recycle bin. Actually, let me redo that. Talking and thinking at the wrong kind. I put that in backwards. So I should go from the inside in and around. Okay, so the reason I'm doing that is so that sharp edge is facing the inside of my basket. So I'm just going to come around and do the next one in order. Okay, goes through, around, and then we tuck that sharp end in. Okay, and you just rotate through all of the eyelets. Okay, go into that pre-measured mark. And if you do that pre-measured mark and you bend them ahead of time, it's going to make sure that you have a nice level basket. So if your basket's level, when you fill it up with water, it will all soak in instead of running off one side. Okay, and you can just kind of straighten those up. And there is one of the finished baskets. Now, the one thing you do need to do with patented material is you need to make sure that you keep all of your tags together. So this is your proof that you have purchased those, and those all go together and in one side of the basket. Then once you're done, you go up and hang your basket, and then it's going to be right at eye level for you to do any further work. So that's how we put our baskets together. I'm going to go through and do a few more. It should take just a few minutes per basket, but that's how we put our hanging baskets together. We are using the wax pulp, the steel hangers, Sunshine Mix number 4, and all of our cuttings are from Ball Seed. So stay tuned and watch these baskets grow as we continue to do more videos for you. See you later.